Hello and welcome to Let Me Talk to My Customer. I'm your host, Chad Counts, along with my co-host, Rich Tyler. Rich, how are we doing today?
We're doing wonderful, Chad. How are you, sir?
It is officially summertime, or at least according to our calendars, right? Kids are out of school, as they were only partially in school anyways. Not the biggest difference, but it's still the first school year is in the bag for my daughter. So it's fun occasion to see her finishing and coming home, all that sort of fun stuff. So I hope everybody is doing well, enjoying their summer vacations, enjoying just time together with family and friends and everything like that. So it's always fun, right? Not more daylight, more opportunities to get together. So it's a good time for all. So I hope everybody is doing well. Sales continue to look great. Industry-wide, things are looking up. If anything, there's even more challenges, supply chain, that continue to benefit us. So it's a great time to be in sales. We're starting to enter some of the dog days of summer, where June is kind of a mixed bag month typically, but so far things look pretty good. On that front, those of you who are hiring, and I have talked to countless companies this week who are in the market for a salesperson or sales manager or talent of all sorts. We do offer hiring and recruiting services. If that would be a benefit to you, if you're tired of doing the same thing you always do and getting the same results, you can give us a try. Let us step in and use our network and our expertise to try and bring that talent to your table. And those who have been able to hire successfully, the few and the proud out there who have been able to do that, we have a new salesperson training that is going to be going off Thursday, June 24th. And so that will be a 4-week series, 1 hour each week. It's $100 per week, $400 total for your new salesperson. It's a great deal. I don't think you'll find anything better than that. We do it on Zoom, and so they can be right there at the facility, no travel, no hotel, no airfare, anything like that. So please reach out to me, see our Counts at countsbusinessconsulting.com or Rich at countsbusinessconsulting.com. We'd be happy to get you enrolled and get your team up and running, get your new salesperson in shape to be a valued member of your team. All right, so off and rolling, and our episode this week is going to be about being open to improvement. While things are going well, we're seeing a lot of upward trends, we're seeing a lot of continued progress. It's funny that there can always be this mentality that creeps in of, okay, that's good enough, or, well, let's call it a resistance to improve, a resistance to change, maybe is a better way. In my opinion, it's resistance to improvement. But I think from a lot of our employee standpoints, they would look at it more just being resistant to change. They don't really want to be open to doing something different. They don't want to give something else a try. All too common, all too familiar a tale. And this happens with owners. This happens with dismantlers. This happens with everybody. It happens with me, right? We all, as humans, get to different points where, for whatever reason, we get a little bit resistant to progress or what's happening around us. So that's what we're going to be addressing today. And more from a standpoint, we'll take a look at both ends about why being open to improve is so beneficial, and why maybe we get set in our ways. What are some of those traps that kind of keep us tied down there? So, Rich, why don't you jump in here and describe what are some of the most common areas on, and obviously we're sales focused, on our sales counters where you see people easily get set in their ways or start to settle.
What are some of the areas in regards to sales where we see them settle?
Correct.
Oh man, There's so many. No, I think it could be little things like any if I think a lot of the yards that we've been working with have been instituting new policies in regards to things like warranty, for example. And to get a team that never has been asked to sell warranty in the past to, for example, start selling warranty, that's one I think that a lot of people deal with. For anybody who's new to a trading group, getting sales members to actively use that as a resource and efficiently use it to generate profit for the yard. Another area to be sure. And
Yeah, it can manifest, and that's really, it can manifest itself in any different way. It can
yeah,
be resistant to asking for the sale, it can be resistant to quoting, it can be resistant to so many different elements, um, that there's a sense, and it's really detrimental. I think how I could potentially sell them on why change is necessary, because there are a lot of 10, 20, 30-year salespeople in this industry now. And they've proven themselves. They're great. They have a great track record, everything like that. That's it. How has the industry changed in the last 20 years? Right. So I think there is, and they could even point to, there's a lot that's different. Their customers are different. They're different. And so I would just emphasize to them that, that's always going to be the case. There's always going to be an element of change. And so that's something we have to emphasize and we have to work on. Otherwise, it passes us by and leaves us alone. So
I think especially with the people that have as much experience as you're just talking about, the people with 10 years, 20 years, 30 years experience, it's also very easy to get into the mindset of what I've done has been successful. Why would I need to do anything else? Especially for those salespeople who have achieved some level of success.
right. And so one of the biggest things that we can do is, just being open to new ideas, open to trying new things. There are certain elements of where something you're already doing is working well and it's really effective. Uh, but I think it's important to not confuse past results with past process. Sometimes we've been successful in spite of things
Uh-huh.
as opposed to because of things.
Mhm.
So, and without a doubt, and part of the reason why we can bring this up is when you look at salespeople that we have worked with, and you would say, everyone's improved, everyone's gotten better. But the people that have really shown an increased amount of openness to change, they're either hungry for new ideas, or when we give them a new idea, they run with it. What kind of difference in their growth are you seeing compared to others?
Oh, well, I mean, it's exponential growth. For anybody who's willing to be open to doing things differently and I guess ultimately adopt those changes, their growth is exponential compared to somebody who's resistant.
Yeah. So if we can find somebody on the team that is really, sometimes they're on the newer side, but even if they're just hungry or open to change, even if they have experience, um, them showing the fruit of that and the progress of that can really be something that helps win over, and put some skins on the wall for those who are like, I don't know that that would work, or I'm not sure why I would change this, just not comfortable with that. So I think that's really important. The other side of, being able to show, hey, the industry chain has changed a lot the last 20 years, and just this idea of we're never perfect, we're never finished, there's always something we can improve on. Even though we have tremendous experience, I by no means would say I'm finished in terms of my understanding, or I'm perfect in terms of myself as a trainer or a manager. I'm always trying to think of ways to get better or improve or challenge myself. And I think you're in that boat as well, Rich, of, and that's all we're looking for. We're not looking for you to say, I'm terrible, I'm miserable, I'm awful, I need to change everything. Everything I've ever done doesn't work. That's certainly not what we're saying when we're talking about improvement and making changes.
Mhm.
When one of the major benefits of working on a larger team is if you get to listen to other people's calls, you can pick up on so much, right? There's even being successful. I know some of the top docs that are relentless at that. They hear somebody, oh man, that's great. I'm moving that. Or they go to a conference or seminar, and one of the reasons they are so successful is they're always looking for an edge. They're always looking for that way to improve. And I just find that to be a better way of being, right? It's I think more engaging to have a life that's constantly looking to improve or challenge yourself than it is to have more of a mundane doing the same thing every day in and out. So that's really a big thing for the summer that we're looking on. Yes, things are going well. Yes, things are the trends are pointing upward in our sector, in our industry. But along with that will come a certain inertia of, well, let's not push the envelope. Let's not do anything different. Let's just settle in and enjoy the ride.
Mhm.
And there is still a lot to be gained. There's still a lot to be done, a lot that we can look to improve on. So us finding ways to foster that sense of, hey, what can we do better here? What can we do better here? Sometimes that's spotlighting somebody who is performing well and saying, hey, why don't you come and tell us, everybody on the team's growing at 15%, at 20%. You're out here at 30, 35%. What is it you're doing? What do you attribute your success to? Where are you seeing that growth?
Mhm.
Put that stuff front and center. I mean, give people an opportunity to pick their brain, to learn from that, and try and foster growth and hunger and things like that. I think one of the other areas where companies maybe, and we'll kind of conclude on this, where we lose that sense of open to improving is if it's a really negative sales culture. If salespeople are more used to getting their hands slapped or getting in trouble, one of the fastest things that happens in that culture is, why should I take any chances? Why should I do anything different? I'm going to stay in my lane of this doesn't get me in trouble. I'm going
Mhm.
to keep my head down and
Mhm.
I'm just going to avoid that. Right. So I think that's something that you have to be very aware of. Yes, you might be correcting something that annoys you or bothers you, too much discounting or this, that, or the other. If that is more the essence of your culture rather than achievement, rather than improvement, you will fail to see openness. You're going to see a lot more stagnation from your counter because the risk reward isn't there. I'm taking the risk, and my risk is more just getting in trouble as opposed to, hey, I'm reaping a lot of rewards and getting recognition from this improvement. All right, so that's it for us this week. Open to improvement, kind of a broader concept. We might unpack a little bit more. Would love your thoughts and questions on how do you foster a sense of improvement? What are some of your barriers to getting your employees to be open to improving? Love to hear from you guys on that. Please remember, if you need any assistance in recruiting or hiring, feel free to reach out to Rich or myself. And also keep our new salesperson series in mind, coming up June 24th on Thursday for 4 weeks, 1 hour a week, $100 per week, $400 total. It's a great opportunity for new salespersons, a low investment bar to bring them up to speed, get them some good experience to grow from. So thanks for joining us this week. We appreciate your time and we hope to hear from you soon. All right. Thanks, everybody.